Today we're going to be installing custom seat covers in my C8 Corvette.
Hi, I'm Jennifer and you're watching the Corvette channel.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Scott and today we are going to be installing custom seat covers from CustomInteriors.com in my C8 Corvette. So I opened up the original box, which was just the brown box that I got from UPS. It got delivered today, and opened it up, and that's exactly what I was expecting to see, is just the seat covers inside the box. But you can see here how pretty the packaging is. So before I got started, I wanted to go ahead and actually show you how the box looks, and I'm gonna go ahead and pull them out for the very first time. So I haven't seen these seat covers yet, so I just wanted you guys to be able to see it. So I wanted to get it on camera. So we're gonna give that a try here. We're gonna go ahead and open these up and get this open. Just down on its side here, and we're gonna take a look. All right. So we've got that. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna set this box here off to the side. You can see here that they're totally wrapped. Nice packaging with a zip bag here. So we'll go ahead and get that open and get these out here on the table. Get that out of the way. All right. These new kits, they come with the little tools to be able to tuck everything in the way they're supposed to, because Kustom Interior has done a really good job about making sure that everything looks factory when you do these. So what we've got here is, this right here is the bottom, and you can see here, these are for my GT1 seats that I have. I had the GT3 seat in my car before, in my 23, and I just didn't, I thought, you know, I'm going to check every box on the car, and I ended up just not liking those seats. They were the sides were just too stiff, not very comfortable at all. These are the GT1. I elected to do that, and I tell you, they're a super comfortable seat. So Kustom Interior, they do a great job about making sure that these seat covers fit like a glove. Now, I've had the ones in my 23, and I've had the ones in my truck and all that type of stuff, and those were all synthetic leather. And then I did a real leather one in my truck, and you guys have seen that video. Unbelievable. I mean, they fit exactly the same as the synthetic leather, they really do, but that wonderful leather smell is awesome. I can tell you that. Now, these are every bit the grade of, I'm sure it actually surpasses what the actual factory seat leather is. These things look great. They feel wonderful. And you can see here they've got perforated, you know, the perforated leather and the red stitching. So it's exactly what I wanted, okay? So he keeps the synthetic leather models in stock, and you can get those relatively fast, and they are considerably less money. But if you are dead set like I was to be able to do a set of real leather ones, it does take a few extra weeks to get them, and it's not that big of a deal, because I can tell you what, it's well worth it, and you're going to see that when I put these on. But let's kind of go over them just a little bit. I want you to see what this is, the bottom cushion here, and then I want you to see what the, we'll grab this one here. This is the back cushion right here. You can see that looks really nice, okay? Now, these also, the way they do these is, if you've had your car, I mean, like my car is fairly new, so I will probably feel a little bit different. It's going to feel a little more cushiony. But if you've been sitting in your seat for a while and the leather and the cushion is starting to break down just a little bit, and I noticed this back in the C5 seats, where you've definitely been in them for a while, the C5 and the C6s, they put some extra cushioning inside here, extra padding, and hopefully you guys can see that. But it's not a lot, but it's enough that you will feel it when you sit in the seat. And so they look really nice. And when these things get installed, you're going to swear that these are the original factory seats, okay? So what I'm going to do now is I had to do it this way to be able to show you ahead of time. But you can see right here there is no patch, okay? There is no leather emblem or anything like that that's embossed, and people ask about that. Now he's not allowed to be able to put those patches on there due to copyright issues from General Motors. But there are places that you can get them that you can go ahead and get the patch, and then you can take it down and have it stitched onto the car. So before we go to do this, I'm going to be doing that, okay? So this is kind of this will be through the magic of the editing. I'll be able to, just before we go to start this, the next time you see this, we'll have the Corvette flag here. I ordered some embroidered patches that are going to be go on here and get stitched, and you'll see that here in the next part of the show. As we're putting them on, I'll show that to you. But we are one day. I've already made arrangements to take these down to the upholstery shop. They're going to stitch them on for me, and then we'll go ahead and we'll do the installation. Okay, so sit back and relax, and through the magic of editing, the next time you see these, you'll have the patch on. All right, guys, we are back, and through the magic of editing, we are one day later. And you can see right here that we've got our patch done, and we got this done at the upholstery shop. And I'm going to go ahead and put their information up there. They were awesome. They took care of me really, really well as the prices were very affordable. And we'll go into that when we're done here. I'll talk about that in greater detail, and I'll put up one of their cards. I wanted to plug them. They really stepped up and got this all taken care of for me. So now let me just go over this. So what we're going to do, I'm going to try to get you from a bunch of different angles here. We're only going to want to do one side today. There's no sense in teaching you both sides. It's the same. So, but what we've got here is inside the seat cover. See if I can go over here. Inside the stitching here, and you're gonna be hopefully you can see up in here. And maybe what I can do is I can look with my glasses. That might be a little bit better. But you guys can see this, hopefully, that there is some Velcro straps right here. Hopefully you guys can see that. Hopefully the glasses are picking it up. So I've got you can see those right there. They're going to end up, those straps, when we pull this down, when we pull the seat down over this, they're going to go through each one of these holes. And then we'll be able to reach through the side before it's zipped and through this side here. And we're going to be able to zip up or Velcro that strap in here, which is going to make this part suck in nice and tight into the headrest. Okay? And then we'll go ahead and we'll be able to pull it down. So I've got a GoPro running on that side. I've got my glasses going on here, as well as this one right here, because I didn't want you just to constantly looking at my back. So I'm going to try to give you guys the best of all angles, okay? Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead, I'm just going to move my seat headrest up a little bit here, okay, like that. All right. And we are going to need, for the bottoms, we're going to need a 15 Torx. And I'll show you what that's all about here in a little bit. But what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to slide this on. Okay? Get this slid over the top. Okay? And you're going to want to get these, get them lined up. And the holes, it's going to be very self-evident of where they go. You're going to walk this down though. You're going to have to walk this completely down on the seat. You got to make sure that it's going down on all four sides, or I should say both sides. And then you can see here you've got the Velcro. We're going to end up tucking that in over here around the back side. We'll get to that here in just a second. We've got to get this down. And so you're literally just pulling this down and get it adjusted. Okay, so this part may be kind of a pain, but you want that. You want this to be a perfectly snug seat cover. You don't want it all floppy. Okay, so, and there is no room for error here, guys. Okay, so then at that point, we can go ahead beforehand and we can reach up through here. You see I'm coming up through here. I can now get up into that hole that's like right here, and we can pull that Velcro. So this is probably the hardest part you're going to have, is getting that Velcro. You can reach up underneath here too and see if I can find it. It probably stuck to itself inside. And it did. There we go. So, but you can see, as long as you get to it ahead of time, it's really not that hard. You can see it starting to pull there. And we're going to do the same thing over on this side. I'm just going to reach up there and I'm going to grab it. I wish I could show that to you, but you'll see that, see even with my glasses, depending on which camera angle we're going to look at when I go to do editing, I'll try to get you the very best position, but you can see how that's pulling it in. So that's what we're going to be doing here. We're going to go ahead and we're going to suck those in, but we want to get this down just a little bit more. Okay, just like that. And I'm almost there. There we go. So a little bit of work, guys. Okay. That looks pretty good. That looks like it's nice and snug in there. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to reach up, I'm going to grab one side of the Velcro and attach it to the other side. I'm going to go through the zipper. So guys, hopefully I'm getting a good view of this, but what I'm taking is I'm taking my left hand, I'm grabbing the Velcro and pushing it toward the outside of the car, okay, to suck that piece in. I'm going to try to hold it as best I can as I take the left or the right side of the Velcro and pull it toward the inside of the car so I get my leather or my Velcro straps nice and tight in there. You can see right here and here that those are nice and tight. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to pull this seat cover down. And we've got to pull it down around the airbag. Okay, and it's got to go over the bolster, so we're going to get it to go down around the bolster. Okay, and you may have to adjust the seat, so we're going to push the seat forward. So going back and forth quite a bit here, but that's just what we got to do. Then we're going to lean this back. That's going to open this part up a little bit. Okay, see, like that. That'll allow us to get this seat cover pulled down. And then we can get it to go around the airbag. Okay, and it'll tuck around. Now if you're having a problem with tucking it in, that's where you can use those tools that they gave you that I showed you that came in the bag that's in your kit. Now this one I'm not needing it, it's going all the way around, so that's nice. But I really highly suspect that we are definitely going to need it when we get to over here where we've got to tuck it around. Okay, so we're just tucking this around like so. You can see how that fits. It's really starting to look really good there. Okay. There we go, just like that. You can see how that's going down, and we're just going to pull that down just a little bit more. Okay, just like this. Okay, so you can see that's going to go all the way down. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to pull this side. We're going to do that over here. You can see that goes around pretty easy right there. Now you'll know if you didn't get it tight enough or pulled down enough, because the next step is to take our zipper and we're going to zip it down. Okay. Now you're going to have to take your hands and you're going to have to do dual hands, or if you have somebody that will help you, that'd be even better. But you're pulling the leather, both sides of the leather,
we're pulling it together. Just like so. Okay? Hopefully my glasses are picking this up because I don't think the other ones are. You're going to walk that down all the way. Okay? That's going to go down like so. Right? I'll have to kind of regroup a little bit. Okay? And then like so. You're just helping the zipper. It's a very heavy duty zipper. But you know, you don't want to overdo it because you don't want to tear it up. As this zipper is really the secret to the way these seats fit. So just make sure that you're making your adjustments. Make sure that everything is looking good. Okay? And then just keep massaging it. If it gets just where it just is not going to fit, get yourself a hair dryer or a heat gun and heat this leather up just a little bit. Now, these are the actual leather seats. The ones that they typically install, or the ones that they typically store or sell, I should say, on the website, are the synthetic leather. They are a little more forgiving. So you don't have to fight them as hard as this leather is that I'm doing here. But it's not a big thing. It's just a little bit of extra work. Just, you know, getting it nice and tight. Okay, so let me see if I can get into here. Get a little bit different angle. You guys can see I'm pulling that down. And you just walk it down until your zipper stops. So you can see now that's all the way in. And now you got a little mat pocket here that you didn't have before. Okay? Alright, so now what we're going to do before we hook anything else up on the straps down here at the bottom, we're going to move the seat back. A lot of moving and going back and forth, but it's well worth it, like I said. Okay, so now these little guys, the way these work is all I'm going to do is I'm going to push them in flat like that. And what they do is they're going in. So if I can demonstrate it, you're pushing it through. You're pushing it all the way through, and then you're doing like this. Okay, so that's how it's being held, right? Or if to show it this way, it's coming across like that, and that's how they lock in place. Okay, so we've got 3 of them here, right? And we're going to do that. We're going to go ahead. I need to go forward just a little bit, so I can get my arm around there. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to push this one through. And I'm going to be able to grab it with my other hand. Just like that. Same thing with this one. Okay, and then the last one. And these are kind of tight, guys, so you just have to be aware of that, and then I just kind of have to fish them in. Get your hands the right position. Once they go, they go. It's not a big deal. It's just getting them through there. Okay. So there we go. We've got one of them done here. Okay, and you can see just how good that looks. Now we're going to go ahead and we'll move on to the bottoms. All right, guys. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to try to get the right angles here, and we'll see how that goes. But what we've got is we've got 2 seat covers. And you'll be able to tell which one goes where. One is that the inside edge is longer, there's more side to it, right? And this other side is for the control side that's already been cut, so it's not, you know, big long piece you're trying to tuck away. The other thing is that there's one hole. So on this being the driver's seat, this is a hole right here. This is for a screw hole that we're going to take out. Remember I mentioned the 15 Torx? We're going to be taking that screw out here in a minute. And so on the passenger side, this hole right here is over here.
So those are the two telltales, okay? So just make sure that the screw that we're taking out, which is on the for the control panel on this side, guys, you can see there's a little screw hole right here. We're going to take it loose, and that way we can tuck this down and around. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to do that now. We're going to take this out. Let me turn this light on down here so this gives you guys some more light, but it isn't in my face. And we're going to take this 15 Torx out right here. All right, so we've got that. Now that makes that loose right there. Now what we can do is we can go ahead and we can take it. Now you can see how this works. Very, very simple. These here, we're going to be grabbing those from underneath, right, with our hook here, our coat hanger, and we'll pull them under, and they'll end up tucking in underneath the seat in the back. These again will go through the fronts. These little guys, this is the snap that goes across on the back, so we'll be tucking those around on the back side, and you'll be able to get that once we move the seat forward. Okay, so we're going to put that over here like so. We're going to take these. Again, we're going to tuck this little guy down here so we can get to it. Okay, just like that. This one is going to go down right here. It's going to go through this rubber. So we're going to take this little guy and we're going to tuck it down into this rubber, and then we'll be able to get to that here in a minute. But we just want to make sure it gets out of the way. Make sure that you don't have it all twisted around and crinkled around. But now what we can do is we can go ahead, we can make sure that we get this little guy tucked in between the carpet and the seat. So you'll have to pull your seat back. You'll tuck that in. This tucking this stuff is always fun. But you're just gonna pull the seat cushion back just a little bit, and you'll be able to get it to go down in there. Once you get it started, it'll go.
Motion to check that front door.
Just like that. Then we're gonna go ahead and we'll pull it down a little bit. There we go, like that. Okay. Then you see here, we're gonna pull this out like so to get that to go. Okay. It's kind of like that. There's a lot of moving parts here, guys. But what we're also going to do here is we're going to start tucking this into this trim. Okay. Now I've always been able to do these with my fingers, so I'm going to do this now. But if you can't, then you can always tuck it in with the tools that they provided with you. Again, we'll talk about that again. Okay, just like so. But you can see that's going along pretty good, and that's going to tuck in there like that. Okay, so that's already looking pretty cool. Already looking good. Okay, just like that. And then we've got to get our hole to line up here, and that's all we're going to do. We're just going to put our 15 Torx down in here. And it's going to go through the leather, or through that hole that's already been cut in the leather, I should say. You don't want to cut it into the leather. There we go. And tighten it back down. There we go. Okay, that's on there. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to tuck these little guys in. We've got our 3 little pieces again, remember, and we're just going to put those on there. Okay, so these are going to slide in, and you can reach in the back and you can help, you'll be able to feel it again. Okay, see if I can get that one to go. These being all spring, you know, the elastic
kind of makes it kind of a pain. But like I said, once they're in there, they're not really coming out unless you force them to come out. You know, if you take them, they're the average everyday wear, getting in and out of the seat, they're not coming loose. Pretty ingenious little setup. Very first time I ever saw this, I didn't quite understand how it worked. I'm pretty sharp on a lot of things, but that wasn't one of them that day, that's for sure. All right, so we got this one to go still. I can get my fingers on the other side. I just got to pull it down now. There we go. All right. Now you can see there, that looks pretty good. And that's not even tightened down yet on the front or the back. So there is a cross plate right here. Okay, you can probably see that with my hand, hopefully. And you're just going to reach up there just enough to get this, kind of get a hold of it, and you're going to get that to go underneath there. Okay, so I'm going to try to get that to go. Okay, and you'll have to get your hands kind of underneath. All right. But that's literally all you're doing, is you're just going to get this to go and hook onto the bottom of the seat. Okay. And I know there's a spot there. Okay. And you can see that hooked on. We're going to do the exact same thing on this side over here. And if you need to go back a little bit further, you can. But you can see, you're kind of feeling this. You're not going to be able to see it. So you guys that are watching the GoPro, you guys are probably being able to see better than I am right now that there's how you can get to it. So I can feel it with my hand. It's like it's a piece that's holding just right there. We go. You can see that. You can see where my finger is. They're not going anywhere, and it's nice and tight. Okay. Look at that. That actually went all on its own. Isn't that funny? So there you go. Okay, so yeah, you can just get it. So you can see where it clipped onto there. Okay. All right, so we've got our one strap hooked up. We're just going to take this one and we're going to hook it up over here. Okay, and it just has to get, you just have to get it caught on something, because this is just all cosmetic at this point. Okay, so there should be a hook like right in this area here. There we go. You can see that's nice and tight. We're hooked up and we're all done.
So guys, now you know exactly how to install these seat covers in a C8 Corvette. Now, these are the leather versions of them, and you can get those special order, or you can elect to just get the artificial version, which is a little bit cheaper, and they are awesome also. I've already installed some of those in the C8s, and they fit great. They look really, really good. Now, keep in mind though, guys, these seats are for the GT1 seat. Now, I have had a customer that decided that he wanted seat covers, and he wanted them bad. And so we went ahead and we were able to put the GT1 seat cover on a GT2 seat. Now, they don't fit exactly as well as this does, but it fits pretty darn nice. So if you are looking for a seat cover, say you've got one of those really light colored interiors and you want to change that out because you're getting in, you know, things are starting to get worn and things like that, I highly recommend that you go ahead and do that. And like I said, they do fit. It's just a little bit different how it fits in here, but it does fit. The bottoms fit perfectly, and it really does keep the pretty good shape. You know, to my knowledge, nobody is making a seat cover right now for the GT2 or the competition seat. But like I said, from experience, the GT1 cover will fit the GT2 seat, okay? So keep in mind, I mean, some of this is not gonna look exactly the same because you have that big hole, much bigger hole, you know, with the carbon fiber in your GT2 seat and your comp seat, but it still fits. Okay, so just keep that in mind in case you guys are, you know, wanting to get something that looks nice and still is classy, but it, you know, is going to protect the seat. Okay, but gotta say, guys, if you guys are looking for some of these, I'm going to go ahead and put all of that information right up here on the screen. It's kustominterior.com. Be sure and check them out. They do a lot of different stuff for a lot of different cars. And they've got a lot of goodies now. You know, they've got the digital steering wheels for the cars, a lot of the interior stuff now. You know, just not just seat covers. So be sure when you check them out. Be sure if you do place an order, let them know that Scott from the Corvette channel sent you guys. And if you guys decide you want to order through me, then I can get you a 5% discount. So just keep that in mind. All right. Guys, I want to thank you again for watching. If you guys, like I say it all the time, if you guys have not already subscribed to the channel, please hit that subscribe button and hit that little bell so you will be alerted of all of our next uploads, as well as help our channel grow and be able to get more sponsorships to be able to do more videos for you guys. So guys, until the next time, you guys have a great one, and we'll see you later.
Thank you for watching the Corvette channel. Don't forget to hit subscribe.